man. Quit playing, man. I looked at you like a little brother, and then I ain't really that mad at you because you just a little easily.
The boxing world has been buzzing with controversy and intrigue following Gervonta Tank Davis's latest fight against Lamont Roach Jr., a match that ended in a disputed majority draw on March 25, 2025. The fallout from this bout has reignited debates about officiating, fighter relationships, and the trajectory of Davis's career, drawing in perspectives from key figures like Adrien Broner and Floyd Mayweather. What began as a highly anticipated clash between two skilled fighters has morphed into a saga filled with accusations, personal reflections, and questions about Davis's standing in the sport. Davis, a product of Baltimore's tough streets, has long been heralded as one of boxing's brightest stars. His explosive knockout power and magnetic personality propelled him to multiple world titles across different weight classes, earning him a reputation as a potential heir to Floyd Mayweather's throne under Mayweather's promotional banner. As Davis's profile soared, however, cracks began to appear in the relationships that once defined his journey. Adrien Broner, a former multi-division champion who mentored Davis early on, has been vocal about the strain in their bond. Meanwhile, Mayweather's influence has also come under scrutiny as Davis seeks to carve his own path. The fight against Lamont Roach Jr. was supposed to be another showcase of Davis's dominance, but it unfolded in a way few expected. The ninth round became the flashpoint of the controversy when Davis took a knee after a jab from Roach. In boxing, such an action typically constitutes a knockdown, yet the referee allowed the fight to continue without penalty, a decision that left fan analysts and Roach's camp were fuming after the controversial incident. Davis later attributed the moment to irritation caused by hair grease, an explanation that Roach dismissed as dubious. "If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before I jabbed him," Roach Jr. said in a post-fight interview. "It's crazy for him to say it's grease in my eye." Roach argued that regardless of the cause, be it sweat, grease, or something else, a fighter can't simply pause the match to seek aid from their corner. This incident fueled allegations of favoritism and even rigging, with some pointing fingers at Davis's camp and the officiating body. Commentators like Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne Thagard weighed in, asserting that had the knee been ruled a knockdown, Roach would have secured the victory. "When the fight was over, the first thing I said was it's either going to be a draw or a close decision to Lamont Roach," Schultz remarked. "If they call this knee a knockdown, which they should have, he wins that fight." Charlemagne agreed, noting that Roach's confidence surged after the incident, allowing him to withstand Davis's subsequent flurries and hold his own until the final bell. Roach's performance was undeniably impressive. Known for his disciplined footwork and resilience, he frustrated Davis throughout the bout. Analysts praised his ability to edge forward without overcommitting, a critical tactic against a counterpuncher like Davis. "You never saw him lunging in," one observer noted. "He was never able to time Roach." Roach's left hook landed consistently, and he excelled in close quarters, throwing combinations that kept Davis on the defensive. Even as the rounds progressed, Roach maintained his composure, defying the narrative that Davis would eventually download the information and take control, a pattern seen in many of Davis's previous fights. Yet the scorecards told a different story, resulting in a majority draw that left many questioning the outcome. Many felt that Lamont Roach's efforts in the fight were underserved, with critics arguing that Davis's marketability as a pay-per-view draw may have influenced the judges. This is a recurring issue in boxing, where a fighter's star power can overshadow their in-ring performance. The controversy has only amplified calls for a rematch, with fans and pundits eager to see if Roach can replicate or even exceed his performance, and if Davis can silence the doubters, Adrien Broner's perspective adds another layer to the saga. Once a mentor to Davis, Broner has openly grappled with their fractured relationship. "I looked at you like a little brother," he said in a candid interview, reflecting on their early days together. "Me and Tank, it's weird because he loved me to death, and I love him to death, but we don't talk every day like we used to." Broner recalled a time when they were inseparable, with Davis often by his side as he navigated his own career. But as Davis's star rose, their dynamic shifted. Broner admitted he lacked the resources to fully support Davis's ascent, which led him to introduce Davis to Mayweather. I didn't have everything, Broner explained. That's why I gave Tank to Floyd. Under Mayweather's guidance, Davis flourished, but the transition wasn't seamless. Broner hinted at underlying tensions, suggesting that Davis may have felt let down by him. He looked up to me so much, it's like I let him down, Broner said. You know what I can do, how good I am, and you feel like, man, you trippin'. Meanwhile, Mayweather's mentorship came with its own challenges. Reports indicate that Mayweather was often critical of Davis's performances, sometimes publicly, which may have strained their relationship. Davis's eventual departure from Mayweather Promotions marked his bid for independence, a move Broner claims to support despite their distance. I hope the best for him, Broner said. I just want him to do good. Floyd Mayweather, for his part, has remained a towering figure in Davis's narrative. Addressing the Roach fight controversy, he revealed his own take, emphasizing Davis's resilience while acknowledging Roach's toughness. My hat's off to Ryan Garcia, tough competitor, tough fighter, Mayweather said, seemingly conflating opponents in the heat of the moment. Though his point stood, Mayweather's comments also underscored a generational divide. When I was that age, I probably would have done the same thing, he admitted, reflecting on Davis's social media outbursts. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me what's right and what's wrong. The Roach fight has thrust Davis's career into a critical juncture. Critics have long questioned the quality of his opponents, arguing that he's yet to face a true A-level fighter. He's never even fought a B-level guy, one analyst remarked. He's never unified. Not only is he fighting these low-level guys, but he's not looking the most impressive doing so. Names like Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur, Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez loom as potential tests. But Davis's resume, laden with knockouts against the likes of Mario Barrios, Frank Martin, and Leo Santa Cruz, lacks elite matchups to silence skeptics. The Roach draw only intensifies the scrutiny, with some wondering if Davis's knockout-reliant style will hold up against opponents who are harder to finish. Roach, meanwhile, emerged as a revelation. Hailing from the Washington, D.C. area, he carried the pride of the D.C., Maryland, Virginia region into the ring, facing off against Baltimore's Davis in a clash steeped in local rivalry. He's fighting for a whole city, Charlemagne Thagard noted, highlighting the stakes. Roach's refusal to back down, even as Davis landed heavy shots, earned him widespread respect. His swollen face at the fight's end testified to the punishment he absorbed, yet his resolve never wavered. The prospect of a rematch looms large. Renowned trainer Greg Hackett believes Roach would approach it with the same intensity, aiming to leave no doubt. Lamont knows if I don't win convincingly, if I don't knock him out or beat the hell out of him, they're not going to give it to me, Hackett said. For Davis, the stakes are equally high. Another grueling 12-round. War could fuel the exposed narrative, and he's desperate to prove his critics wrong. Avoid Tank, not trying to hear that, Hackett added, emphasizing that Roach will be looking to seek and destroy in their potential rematch. The controversy surrounding the fight has also unexpectedly opened doors for Davis. Prior to his bout with Roach, high-profile options were scarce. Lomachenko had already declined to fight, while other potential opponents like Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez remained tied up in promotional complexities. The disputed draw, however, has rekindled interest in Davis's future, offering him a chance to potentially cash in twice, as one observer put it, by running it back with Roach and settling the score. A convincing win in a rematch could pave the way for those elusive A-level showdowns that have long been out of reach, bolstering his legacy in the process. Boxing's unpredictability is at the heart of what fuels its allure, and the Davis-Roach saga exemplifies that truth. From the controversy of the 9th-round knee to the referee's non-call, from Broner's emotional reflections to Mayweather's towering shadow, the narrative both inside and outside the ring is compelling. Roach's disciplined brilliance clashed with Davis's raw power, and while the scorecards left many fans wanting more, the fight itself served as a reminder of why people love the sport. This is boxing at its best, said Andrew Schultz. It makes you love this sport, man. As the dust settles, the boxing community eagerly awaits the next chapter in this evolving story. Will Davis embrace the rematch and prove his mettle, silencing the doubters once and for all? Can Roach capitalize on his momentum and claim the victory he believes was stolen from him? And perhaps most intriguing of all, how will Davis's fractured relationships with figures like Adrien Broner and Floyd Mayweather shape his future in the sport? The answers lie ahead in a sport where every punch, every call, and every decision can rewrite the narrative. For now, the debates rage on and the anticipation continues to build. In boxing, clarity often comes with the next bell,